All right. Let me see if I put it on. Ooh, a text message. That's exciting. I never get text message. No one loves me. Okay. Alright. Hi, what's going on, Airsofters? ODA here. My name's Matt. This is Daniel.
Yeah.
I already did it for you, so you didn't have to repeat it.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to do that.
Now it's really awkward. Alright, so today we're going to be doing part 5 of our Q&A series. And basically what happens is you guys leave your questions in the comment section down below. We pick out our favorite ones, cut them up, throw them into our ammo can, and a couple times in our past episodes we've asked you for your opinions on what we should name the ammo can. We've selected our top 3, and we've put them on our Facebook page, which I'll leave a link to right there. See, I did some editing magic right there, so that'll take you to our Facebook page. That's a link to our Facebook. And you can just vote for whatever you want the name to be, pick our top 3 favorites again, and just go from there. Alright, so I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So,
okay, you want to go first? Yeah.
I guess I'll kick it off. Alright, this one looks good. Alright. X-Tram. Why don't you guys use any AK style guns? Well, 2 reasons. I personally just prefer AR platform style guns, SCAR, anything that really uses M16 kind of a style magazine. I don't know, they just look better to me. I have nothing against AKs, I actually really like AKs, Real Steel, Airsoft, because if you shoot Real Steel or know about them, they're like insanely reliable, like you can't jam them. Like,
yeah,
like
you
almost
can put bacon on them.
You can like put bacon on them and stuff. There's been
Thanks FPS Russia.
Thanks you guys, that's what he was referring to. Yeah, no, I have nothing against AKs, I prefer ARs basically.
Yeah, I really do like AKs. If my perfect gun in mind is, I've seen people do this before, is an AK AR platform.
I've seen those.
Which is, it fires the AK round, the 7.62 by 39mm, and it has the same internals as an AK, but it has the setup, the outside setup, like an AR with the RAS. You can mount scopes easily. It has a folding stock and vertical grips and everything else. That would be my favorite type of gun. But the problem with Airsoft is that not only do not enough people use AKs in general,
there is a very scarce. I know there are some guys out there that are like dedicated to the AKs, but like for the most part, it's like M4 galore, right?
Yeah, and so it just makes it a lot easier to change mags. Like, hey, I'm running low on ammo. Can I borrow a magazine? Yeah. And you can do that with ARs. With AKs, you're basically out of luck. It's just, that's about how it goes, and so. Real Steel, I would definitely go with the AK AR platform if I could just drop $1,500. But with Airsoft, I definitely have to go with the M4 platform, the AR platform.
And that, like you brought before, the reason also why we use ARs is because we can interchange parts and
parts magazines,
really, because it's all part of the same thing. They all use version 2 gearboxes. They all use M16 mags, so they're all compatible.
Springs, everything.
And when someone gets an AK, then it kind of comes a little more difficult to interchange stuff. But
plus, AK's internals for Airsoft, they're a pain in the butt to repair and fix and everything else.
I don't think that's as much of an issue actually, because I think they're more like, I know for the most part there are version 2 gearbox parts, but I think version 3 they are a little harder to find, but I don't think they're as bad.
Yeah, just the only problem, like what I meant is because my friend, he has an AK, an Airsoft AK, and since he didn't really even know about how to take it apart and fix it and everything, I had to go into it, and it was just, I don't know if, probably not all AKs are like this, but this one was just a pain in the butt to take apart and fix.
I think they're very similar, but anyway. Alright, your question. I'm too excited to answer a question. That's a big one.
Upside down.
Oh, okay, he's got like 3 questions. Okay.
3 questions, okay.
What's his name?
Angelo Gaines.
Okay.
What type of mags do you use or recommend, high caps or mid caps?
I like mid caps. High caps are good, don't get me wrong. You can hold a lot of ammo in them, but we do play a lot of realistic game scenarios where they require us to use mid-cap magazines, and I'm not a fan of the whole winding thing. What I like about them is 2 things. One, they don't rattle. That's the one problem I just hate. A lot of people don't mind this, but I don't like the rattling when you where it's like, the BBs just jiggling around the magazines. I hate that. With the mid-caps, they're all just like coiled up with the spring, and I just like that better. And also, it's I don't have to wind them up, and I just carry extra magazines to compensate for the amount of BBs a high cap could hold. So pretty much actually a 360 round high cap is about equivalent to 2 or 3 mid caps depending on how many rounds the mid cap holds. So
yeah, see, with me, I do agree with Matt a lot with the mid caps. The mid caps are definitely easier, more reliable.
Yeah,
you don't have to you don't have to whine and everything else. But I do carry one high cap with me every game, except for when they're not permitted.
Right.
Because a lot of times I'll get into a position like at the last game where I was just sitting there and I was holding down 30, like a 30 person force, and I just held down that sector of woods for like 20 minutes straight, 20 or 30 minutes straight on one high cap. See, I would have to reload. That might give someone time to move up or anything else, but I just kept holding him down. Boom, boom, boom. And
that's what I actually used to do. I used to use my pouch set, so I would have 1, 2, 3 mid caps, and then my last mag would be my high cap, and that's like my ditch effort mag. That's obviously there. If I've used 3 mags, I'm obviously going to need a lot more ammo because they're probably rushing in really quick.
Yeah. Plus, one of my favorite type things to do is to rush people. This is like my favorite part. I love just running up there and charging, and that's definitely not where you want to use a mid cap because oh shoot, I ran out of ammo after the first 5 shots. Then what? Okay, so next question. I'm thinking of buying a ghillie suit. Do you have any, or have you had one? So how does it feel?
I have one. Really good. They blend in insanely well if you can get it for the correct environment. Bad thing is they're hot. I mean, they are hot. Like depending on the kind
in Florida, I don't know where you are.
Depending where you live, it's Florida. We play in about 90-degree plus heat, depending on what
100
season.
and something.
Last time we played, it was like 101. It was like, whoa, okay. But they're hot. If you live in a hot climate, they're going to be really hot. So what I do is I just wear generally they come in 2 pieces, like a jacket and a pant. And what I do is I just wear the jacket portion, and then I just wear Marpat pants, like my regular Marpat pants, and then it helps me stay cool, and but the thing about when you use a ghillie suit, the one thing to take into account is they've got a lot of the fibers they use to help blend in. When you're like manipulating the gun, you have to keep in mind you can't have magazines on like your front like a vest does, so you have to like have them in your pockets, or you have to have like some sort of system that's either under or over it.
Yeah.
And so just a couple things to keep in mind, but for the most part, they work really well. If you're in terms of blending in, like you can just sit in a bush and they will never find you.
Great for playing at night, I'd say.
Oh yeah, no. If you're playing woods at night, no one will ever find you. That's it. It's just game over. They can't find you.
Okay. So now we're on question 3. I've shot real guns, and I was wondering if you know of any guns that have big recoil or blowback, just to make it realistic.
Actually, believe it or not, KWA reading that reminded me of this. They have this new KWA M4 they've come out with. I think it's called a KWA, it's like an RG or something, I forget the name of it, oh my god, but it has like this new recoil system into it that has like, it gives it more like kick to it. It has like a weight, and like every time the piston blows back, it like pushes this weight back, so it gives it that realistic feeling. But if you're going for blowback, probably a gas blowback rifle, those are renowned for having like realistic blowback.
And they sound awesome.
And they sound really good. Downside to gas guns is the gas can kind of get expensive, and they don't hold as much ammo as like your AEGs.
Yeah, they're like real cap.
Yeah, exactly. But no, in terms of realism, you really can't quite beat it. I think that's like if you're going for like compare that to a real gun, that's about pretty close to what you're going to be.
And for handguns, I would say you want to go with a CO2 blowback pistol.
CO2,
because they are so powerful. The blowback is really powerful, and they do not compromise. Like with gas pistols, you lose a lot of FPS from the blowback action. Like there's mods that you can do to pistols where you don't use the blowback action, and you'll get an extra 50 feet per second out of it. With CO2, you don't have that problem because there's just so much power
in
that
the CO2. Yeah. And the other thing about the CO2 that's good is that it performs better in colder climates, because when green gas or propane is exposed to colder temperatures, it loses its pressure. I don't really know the science behind it, but it doesn't shoot as hard, and it's like it doesn't last as long. But CO2 it contains a little capsule, and it's just it performs a little better.
So there's plus and minuses to both, but I would definitely go with CO2 blowback if you're wanting.
If you're wanting real kick, go CO2. Exactly. Okay. Third question comes from Spencer Labar. I'm fairly new to airsoft, and what do you guys think is the best place to shop for airsoft stuff? Well, we all have our own preferences on the team as to who we like to order from. Nick likes to order from Airsplat. I like to order from Evic. Daniel,
Airsoft.
But really, it boils to whatever they have in stock, because sometimes
whatever
website,
you need,
if I need some type of magazine and a part, generally Evic will have my part in Airsoft Jail will have my magazine. You know, example like that.
Airsplat has the best deals, but you have to order at the right time, and their shipping isn't the best.
Yeah. So there's pros and cons to like every website, but what I actually like to do is I love to do my shopping. I've always been a stickler to this. Do my shopping at a local retailer. So if you can find, if you Google like Airsoft,
what is the one in the mall? It's like
Alternatives.
there's a Hobby Zone type shop in the mall, and then
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Banana Hobby, I think it's called.
Something like that. But what I like to do is go shopping at my local retailer. However, the retailers we have here aren't very good. They're very small. They're very limited. So, but if you can find a good retailer near you that you can walk in and like examine the merchandise for yourself, that's always the best option to do. And then, you know, but online stores will, if compared to some walk-in stores, will have more inventory. So.
Yeah. Okay, our next question comes from Calvin Wagner. What is the best pistol you use in close-range places? My stuff is never on the videos.
Oh, that's sad. Okay. Well, you're on the video today.
Yeah.
So, best close-range pistol. Now, I mean, if we have two pistols right here. I don't know if you can see them. This is a 226. This is a 229. The 229 is shorter than the 226, but if you compare them, literally, they're identical in length. Now, when it comes to rifles, short-barreled rifles are better for CQB because it's easier to get around the corners. However, I really don't feel it matters a whole lot. In my opinion, it really doesn't matter the length of the handgun because you can like pull it in, extend your arm like this. So it really doesn't matter a whole lot, like the length of the pistol. So I don't think there's a good CQB pistol. I think pistols
as long as they shoot around the right feet per second.
Exactly. That's
for.
what you want to keep in mind. Most CQB fields are 350 FPS limit. So as long as you can keep the gun shooting around that range, I mean, your pistol should be pretty good with that.
And the way the gas works is that if you do get a gun that you really like, but it only shoots like 320 feet per second, if you get a suppressor for it, like a mock suppressor, it gives more time for the gas to expand. So when it comes out of the suppressor, it will be doing about 350 feet per second, so you can fine-tune your handgun.
Right, but those have to be the suppressors with the barrels built into them.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the ones where just hollow, those would more than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say if I were to go with a CQB type of pistol, handgun, machine pistol, I'm going to actually be purchasing soon a Mac 11.
Oh yeah, the KWA ones. Those are
and
good.
See, the good thing about these guns is that with the NS2 version, they'll get a good solid feet per second, about 350 feet per second, which is like the prime range for CQB. And they have a high magazine capacity. I'll probably be using it mostly on semi-automatic, but it does have the option for full auto if you have to go clear a room very quickly. So that's one of the pluses to a Mac 11. Do you have any other opinions?
I like what you're saying, because I think some pistols, like you said, I didn't really think about this. For CQB, it also is very important to have like a full auto feature if you're clearing a room, which I didn't really think about. I have a 93R over there I'm looking at, and it has 3-round burst and fully automatic, so I guess a pistol with a fully automatic function would be more effective in a close quarter scenario than a semi. I never really thought about that, but a good point, Dan. A very good point.
Okay.
All right, I think we have time for about 2 more. Let's see. Theater Airsoft with a 3. What do you prefer, 5.51, 5.56, or 5.52 hollow sights? Now, I actually use 5.53 hollow sights. Those are the ones with the little cutie...
quick detach.
Yeah, little cutie levers on them. But if you're giving me a choice to choose from the 3, I would have to say 5.52. I don't know, I like the longer ones better. I think the 5.51's the shortened one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the 5.51's
the shortened.
I think it's shortened.
You think it's I don't know, there's like, it's like 5.51, 5.52, 5.56, and then they have 5.53s. There's a whole bunch, but I like the longer ones. Those are those just look cooler to me. I know Nick likes the compact ones.
See, with me, I think right now my goal for my primary is to lighten the weight, and I think the shorter version, even though with a minuscule amount, it would still lighten some of the weight.
Yeah.
Now, but I have used the 5.52 before. I borrowed his, and I have to say it performed very well, even though it was a clone. So I have to, from my experience, the 5.52 would be the way to go. It's accurate. It's clear. Yeah. So.
All right. So I think we have about time for one more, and we'll wrap it up with this one.
Okay. Tommy Mayo, what is your favorite add-on to a gun?
Well, for me, that's a tough one. I think I'd have to say an optic, because a lot of people I know don't really like to use their optics on their guns. They just put them on there for looks. They don't really zero them. But for me, I use my optics very, very frequently. I use them. I zero them all, because I use them very often. Like, I'll see someone in a base, and the only thing sometimes I can see is their head. If I hip fire, which I kind of, most airsofters majority do hip fire, like they're not looking down the scope. It's effective for like shorter distances, but when you have to like get that one precision shot, and if like they hear you shooting, they're gonna duck down. You need like to hit that like first shot, and that's why I like zero in, just go 1, 2, and then I'll hit them. But if I'm like kind of hip firing, I might miss. So that's where I like using scopes for that reason. Either that or some type of grip. I think those two are my two most important, because I use a lot of angle forwards, and those things are really comfy, and they help me, like, if I have to remain aimed for a long period of time, I can stay in that position with those kind of grips.
Yeah, my favorite add-on is also some type of optic. See, I'm a stickler for accuracy on any type of pistol, handgun, rifle, etc. And I do have used Trijicon mini red dots on my revolver before in one instance when I was skirmishing and stuff like that. I would have to say it was definitely the optic, because it just makes that just quick response. If you have just a reflex sight, you can just pull your gun up and fire. You don't have to aim down the iron sights or anything else like that. Iron sights, I do like iron sights for their accuracy over a red dot, because you kind of get that just a few millimeters of extra
fluctuation.
Yeah, but I would have to say adding a red dot to my rifle was probably one of the best things I've done. Using a red dot, it just makes it easier.
Yeah. So use like a red dot, like any type of scope. And I feel that a lot of people use like really long range scopes. I don't feel those are completely necessary unless you're a sniper. What I use for my scars, I just use like a 4 times magnification scope, and that's like more than I'll like ever need. But so.
Yeah, with mine I have been using recently, it's a 5.52 sight with a 3 times magnifier, so it's
that's cool. That's a good option.
Really caters to what I do, because I usually in the DMR role, and so I'll be running through something and I'll be shooting with just the hollow sight. But then I get to a point where I have to use it long range as the DMR, and I just can flip it up and use it like that too.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing like they make are those canted ones. You can have the scope on the top and you tilt it 45 degrees and you have that.
Yeah, see eventually that's what I want to do, is I want to get a longer range scope with the 45 degree mount and the mini red dot. That's my end goal. But for right now, hybrid sights is what I use.
Right. Alright, so that'll about wrap it up. If you guys got any questions for future Q&A videos, leave them in the comment section down below, and we'll see which ones we like, throw them in here, and then hopefully you'll get featured in the next video. So, thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you.